Today, we're crossing a line between stock and faster than nature intended, or at least as fast as the IEC bus can be pushed. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about JiffyDOS. What is it? Why is it? It's probably not what you think it is.
Whoa! I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Why does Deadline have that USB stick?
Don't worry, fellas. It'll only sting just a little bit. Deadline here, and welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Boom. There it is, the Commodore 64 Ultimate. The reason why I'm making this video is to target folks who are new to the Commodore scene. With the recent revival of Commodore by Parafractic and the team at Commodore, has made the Commodore 64 more readily available for everyone, including younger generations and folks that are just brand new to Commodores in general. So some of y'all may not understand some of the things that we do in the Commodore world. Some people have been asking me about what is JiffyDOS because they've seen it in some of our older videos. It doesn't look like their Commodore 64 screen when you turn it on, because the regular Commodore screen just says Commodore 64 basic version 2, and when you have JiffyDOS installed, it says JiffyDOS at the top. JiffyDOS is an awesome quality of life feature for the Commodore 64, and it offers improved disk activity speeds, and it also adds some functionality to the function keys, which are otherwise not programmed on an original Commodore 64. Now I'm going to go over a couple of examples of the benefits of having JiffyDOS installed. We're going to go over a couple of the older way of doing things, and then I'm going to follow that up with how much easier it is in JiffyDOS to do those things. So let's get started. Boom. One of the things that JiffyDOS has done is it's left the original Commodore 64 commands available, so we can demonstrate the original way of doing things within JiffyDOS. So the first thing is, let's try loading a directory. To do that on a Commodore, this is how you do it. Load quote $, quote, $8. And you have a disk in a drive, and this is going to load the directory. And the way this works is it loads it into a basic program listing, and so all I got to do is list it. And so as you can see, there's the Meatloaf directory. It's acting as a 1541 drive. But if you have JiffyDOS installed, it's as simple as hitting F1, because F1 is bound to that function. So let's try it again. Boom, F1. There it is. One of the additional benefits of having that in the kernel is that you can actually be working on a program. So let's go ahead and let's type new. We're going to start a new program. 10 print quote clear home control white. Oh no, is that control white? There we go. And now it's going to change the color to white, and we're going to be like JiffyDOS demo disk directory tory quote :poke 53280, 0, :poke 53281, 0. Let's run it and see what happens. Boom. So now, let's say you want to get a disk directory. Let's say you want to get a disk directory while you're working on your basic program. You can't normally do that unless you save this basic program onto disk first, and then because the original kernel loads a disk directory into the basic space, it's going to overwrite whatever you got going on. So with JiffyDOS, it doesn't do that. All you got to do is hit F1, it'll give it to your directory, right? So boom, @$, and there's your directory. And if we do a list, your program's still intact. So that's another benefit of using JiffyDOS. Let's take another look at what else JiffyDOS has to offer. So normally, if you want to issue commands to the Commodore disk drives, you have to do stuff like open 1, 15, or no, it's 8, 15, quotes, and then whatever command you want to issue. Like for instance, N0 : disk name, what, or ID, I believe it is. Actually, let's change this to drive 9 so we don't have anything going on. So this is how you'd format a disk, but then you want to also add at the end, close 1. It's going to try, but there's no disk, so it doesn't matter. On JiffyDOS, here's how you would do it. N0 : disk, or no, actually before we do that, you want to swap the drive number that JiffyDOS is looking at, and you do that by @#9. And so now, actually, let's try doing a directory. It should come back with nothing, right? Because we don't have anything in there. The way you would do the command to format a disk now would be N0 : disk name, ID. Same. It's going to try to format, but there's no virtual disk installed. So as you can see, it takes a lot of typing away if you want to do that. Now, I know what some of y'all are probably thinking right about now, but Deadline, what are all the other features available for JiffyDOS? Well, I didn't really intend for this video to be a full JiffyDOS coverage of all the features. I just wanted to show a couple of the features that are available, and I feel like those 2 features alone are worth the cost of JiffyDOS. I'm going to list some of the features right here over my face. So, and I'll also put links down in the description below. But let's, just real quick, here's some of the things that you can do with JiffyDOS. Type them out, and here's like the function keys that were remapped. Now that we've talked about the features of JiffyDOS, let's see where we can find JiffyDOS and get it and download it and install it. So here it is. In order to get JiffyDOS, you got to go to store.go4retro.com, and as you can see, it is a shop. They sell all kinds of stuff for retro computing. It's run by Jim Brain. Let's take a look. JiffyDOS kernel ROM overlay IC. You can actually buy the actual ROM chips to go in original Commodores, but we don't want to do that. What we're going to be looking at is JiffyDOS firmware, and they have downloadable images that you can upload to the Commodore 64 Ultimate. Oh, here we go. It is JiffyDOS C64 Ultimate ROM Overlay Image Starter Pack. It's $15 as of the time of this making of this video. Let's see what all we get. We get a Commodore 64 JiffyDOS and a 1541 JiffyDOS. And so there it is, $15 over at Retro Innovations, store.go4retro.com. I'll have this link in the description of this video if you want to go check it out. Once you purchase JiffyDOS and you unzip it to your disk, you want to put it on a USB drive. And here I've got this copy of JiffyDOS is in my JiffyDOS-legally-purchased folder. You go in there, I got the C64 bin and the C1541 bin. And that's on the USB stick.
I knew he was gonna try and do something with that thing.
Why, I never.
So we put our USB stick into the Commodore 64 Ultimate. Now let's go take a look at for the files. We go to disk file browser and it's USB 0. Yep, there it is. JiffyDOS legally purchased. And there we have it. JiffyDOS C1541.bin and JiffyDOS C64.bin. To install these, all you gotta do is hit enter. It recognizes it as a ROM file. And so you can set it as kernel or you can set it as basic. What we want to do is hit the kernel. So set as kernel ROM. And same thing for the C1541.bin. Set as 1541 ROM. So now you should have JiffyDOS installed on your system. And this is what it'll look like. And that's all you have to do to install JiffyDOS.
Wait, that's it? That felt pretty good, actually.
Really? Hey, I want JiffyDOS too.
Sorry, Pokey, but they don't make JiffyDOS for Ataris. But maybe some of our viewers can tell us what are similar options available for the Ataris in the comments below. So thanks for checking out our video. I hope you get JiffyDOS, check it out. And if you do, let us know how it goes. We'll see you next time.
CityXen is made possible in part by donations from viewers like you. If you like our content and want to make big problems for Miss DOS, please consider becoming a patron and help us to bring you higher quality retro entertainment and to restock the salsa and upgrade the primitive infrastructure here at CityXen. Become the hero the world needs, and we will add you to the hero list. CityXen patron heroes: Zotek, Hetzel, Olaf Hope, David Youd, 8-Bit Show and Tell, Jixies and CityXen, Ravenwolf Retrotech, Brent Carroll, Gregory Dunlap, Karen Edson, IS2 Scooby. Thank you. Long live 8-Bit Machines. We will not go quietly into the night.
Returning control to viewer.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our zany hijinks. And be sure to check out all the other vintage computer-related videos on our channel, right here on CityXen.
Pay for my CityXen for an 8-bit tomorrow.